What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and this is the final video of the day. Maybe this one will be have a green mark by it. Huge ups to everyone who is clicking the join button down below the video. We are probably 30 away from a pretty cool goal. Hopefully you'll consider supporting the channel by doing that. There's many different levels that you can do, but they all go directly to supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it. Now, I want to talk about, you guys know, you all know, how much I love fake wokeness. It's something I like to point out at the corporate level. While people certainly are fake woke, they do it for likes and retweets as opposed to corporations who do it for money. Now, Kickstarter is a company that has long skirted under the ire, has received very little criticism based on some of the most important things that they do wrong. First of all, they don't support the backers. They remain 0% at fault when thousands of people a year get stolen money from them. We can look at ZQ's Kickstarter, $80,000 raised. Of that $80,000, by the way, Kickstarter took all their fees. She never delivered the product. There will be no refunds, and Kickstarter makes their money. Kickstarter gets to hang out blameless as thousands, tens of thousands of people back projects that never happen. They don't even bother refunding the fees to you. They remain just, hey, you know, buyer beware, you know. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame that they didn't give you what they said they would. Sorry, we're not going to request the money back from the creator. Oh, they were going to make their video game on Steam, but now they're not. You want your money back? Sorry, not going to help you there either, even when the fundraisers themselves directly lie to you. Sorry, we're just the middleman. We just take but a small fee out of all of this money. We couldn't possibly do anything to protect you. And this goes without even touching on the fact that they are relentlessly partisan in terms of the projects that they allow on their platform. I myself have done Kickstarters before, and I have been rejected by Kickstarter because they often respond to whatever outrage mob happens. It is a huge business risk to use them. Now, there are other alternatives out there. Indiegogo has always allowed people to just use their platform, and from what I can tell, as long as the products that people use don't violate their TOS, they're not getting involved in any Twitter drama or anything like that. Kickstarter is a shell of what it used to be. The dream is that you put this product on Kickstarter and magically all these people, you know, they market themselves as, well, there's just all sorts of people browsing Kickstarter all day looking for products to give you money. No, Kickstarter is a platform just like Indiegogo or any other crowdfunding. If your product takes off, it's because you got outside coverage. Yes, there are times that they will email certain projects out to people, but there are always these woke projects. There are always these feel-good stories. They're never actually like local dude in garage solves common problem with product. Here, buy it. I never see that email come from Kickstarter. Maybe it does exist, maybe it doesn't. But I myself have been rejected by them for purely political reasons, as I tried to raise money for a website, and I knew even if they had accepted me that they would eventually remove me as the outrage mob would ascend on them. And so I launched my two, I think, or three different Kickstarters or fundraisers all on Indiegogo. Here's another perfect example. This is a comic book that depicts real life gangsters, MS-13. But Kickstarter says that's not okay, even when it's backed by factual evidence, right? This is one of the biggest problem areas, this particular group. Their crimes are well documented. Everybody knows what they're all about. But even that isn't allowed. You aren't allowed to depict a, what do they say, marginalized person, even if it's accurate. Thanks for sharing your project with us. We've carefully reviewed it against our rules, and we're unable to approve it for launch. Now you might be saying, it's just a comic book. Nothing in particular in this comic book I say or that I see is particularly egregious. Why is the reason they give? As a public benefit corporation committed to fighting inequality and creating a more equitable world. At what point was that Kickstarter's goal? You're a fundraising website. You aren't committed to fighting inequality. You make money. By the way, you make money off the backs of ingenuity, off the backs of creators in this world who didn't do the 5 minutes research to figure out that they could do their own crowdfunding on their own website. You are a parasite, Kickstarter. You are a company that does not protect the consumers, does not protect the people against fraud, and you just take your money anyway. Not very woke of you, is it? Kickstarter does not allow discrimination, subjugation, or intolerance towards marginalized groups. We recommend you review our rules and list of prohibited items. This decision is non-negotiable. We appreciate your understanding. No, I don't understand, Kickstarter. This is a comic book where a comic book hero runs up against a gang and a fight ensues. A tale as old as time. Now, if these characters were bikers, we know, based on how Kickstarter is enforcing these rules, that they wouldn't have a problem with it. This is the same baloney sauce that we got out of woke media outlets about the Rambo movie. Well, we don't like the Rambo movie because it takes place in Mexico and it has Mexican people doing bad things. So therefore, this film is problematic. Are you only supposed to have white villains? No, wait. You can't do that either. Because when you're talking about the Joker film, that film is problematic. Because it will, of course, inspire other evil white folks to do evil things. So who can you exactly have as a villain in your comic books or your movies or as an antagonist in a video game that Kickstarter would allow? And oh, by the way, if Kickstarter was so woke, why wouldn't they let their workers unionize? I thought that was a big, raise the fist to the air type of thing, Kickstarter. Kickstarter workers just asked for union recognition despite pushback from the CEO. Days after Kickstarter CEO Aziz Hassan said he would not voluntarily recognize a union at the company, employees sent him a letter requesting voluntary recognition. Not very woke of you, Aziz. So you don't care about your own employees, apparently. And by the way, I'm not a pro-union guy, but I'm also not out here telling people that what is it exactly? What is it exactly? That you are a public benefit corporation committed to fighting inequality and creating a more equitable world. Well, wouldn't that be allowing your employees to unionize? I mean, that seems like it would go hand in hand with what Kickstarter would want. And what about creating a more equitable world? How do you accomplish that by allowing your customers to get fleeced while you continue and you just keep your money anyway? You make no effort to protect the people that get scammed on your website. You make no effort to hold creators or fundraisers on your platform accountable. You continually allow creators to launch multiple Kickstarters even after not fulfilling their first one. And I'm just talking about people in the comic book and board game world. There are endless examples of people on their third or fourth Kickstarter who still haven't delivered the first one. What about that, Aziz? Is a public benefit corporation going to do to solve? How are you fighting inequality by not allowing creators of comic books and video games to put them on your website? Because you don't like what? The color of the bad guys? And what about fighting for a more equitable world involves you denying your employees a union, Aziz? Employees at Kickstarter asked the company on Wednesday to voluntarily recognize their union following a month of internal upheaval, including the firing of 3 crucial members of the union organizing committee. So they're union busting. Very equitable of you, Kickstarter. The company's union, known as Kickstarter United, would be one of the first white-collar tech unions in the United States. And by the way, this is never going to happen. Ask the people at Vox how that's working for them. Kickstarter United requests voluntary recognition of our union with office and professional employees at the Local 153, said the letter. The request for recognition follows a September 27th email from the CEO Hassan to his employees stating that the company would not voluntarily recognize a union if asked. Hassan denied union busting, writing that the firings were performance-related. I'm sure they were, Aziz. But said the union that a union framework at Kickstarter would be inherently adversarial. The dynamic doesn't reflect who we are as a company, how we interact, or how we make decisions, or where we need to go. That sounds like a lot of gobbledygook to me. It sounds like you're just throwing some word salad out there to try and, I guess, confuse your employees. You know, in this one case, I support the Kickstarter union because it would be the very first act outside of just gobbling up cash that would show that you, in fact, are interested in creating a more equitable world. Why don't you help your employees, Aziz? Oh, yeah, you're just another fake woke corporation that's more interested in saying the right thing than ever doing it. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Above, you'll find some links to watch more videos, as well as a nice big button to subscribe, which I hope you'll do. If you did enjoy it, make sure before you go that you leave a like and a comment on the video, because you are the #1 reason this channel continues to grow, and I appreciate you.